Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. I've just finished watching Italy versus Uruguay in match day 17 in round 3 of the Rugby World Cup 2023. Italy win the game 38 points to 17, and Italy eventually do outsmart the brave Uruguayan side that featured tonight. So, let's run through the game. Let's run through some stuff, talk about some players and otherwise. And thank you very much to our sponsors. Before we get into that, of course, BOYLESPORTS and BITDEFENDER. So it was a very interesting start to the game because Italy just in that whole first half looked very average. They didn't really have much going for them. They tried a few things. It was just really not working. Lots of knock-ons, spilt balls, passes not making their way there. A little bit slow in the way in which they were playing, which was rectified in the second half. But in the first half, though, Uruguay just really did a very, very good job of disrupting them very much so. Ardao, number 6 for Uruguay, did exceptionally well in that first half. I haven't seen a first half like that from a forward in quite some time. Did really, really well and was really helping his team along there. Uruguay did exceptionally well there to really challenge Italy in that first half. And I think the Italians were quite surprised by stuff. Lorenzo Pani, though, in the first 6 minutes, went over in the corner. Italy went 7-0 up, of course, as a result of that try. But after that, we saw Uruguay really pile on pressure, and eventually Italy really crumbled under it a little bit. On the 5-meter line, we saw multiple penalties after a breakaway from Uruguay going onto their try line. They were then on the try line for France for quite some time, and they had so many successive penalties against France, advantages given, that as soon as the whistle stopped for the first time, because we went back for the penalty, yellow card was given to Canone, number 4. So that was the first yellow card, and then they eventually immediately went for the corner then because they thought, oh, now we can beat them. And straight away, then also got another yellow card and penalty try for collapsing the maul when it would have been a penalty, when it would have been a try. So that resulted in Uruguay going 7-all and Italy going down to 13 men. And then right before the two players came back on for Italy in the 37th minute, Uruguay went over to go for a second try in the corner there, eventually finally finding the fact that they actually needed to spread the ball rather than just run it up the middle the whole time. Scored their second try of the game, making it 14-7 to Uruguay. Both those players then, of course, for Italy made their way back onto the field. And right before halftime, fantastic kick from Uruguay, the fly half, of course, getting it over a brilliant drop kick that had to be TMO reviewed and just went over at halftime to make it 17 points to 7 at halftime. At this point, Italy are thinking, what the hell is happening? What on earth is happening? Uruguay was so good in the first half. They came out brave. They came out fighting. It was fantastic. However, second half comes along. What do we see? Italy decided to find their class because they suddenly realized they've been too slow, been too messy. They need to speed up play. They need to get the ball out wide as quickly as possible. And it worked. And also, substitutes played a real big part for Italy today as well. The physicality they brought onto the field was fantastic. So, of course, as a result, Italy just started to storm away with it. And hence, Uruguay didn't score any more points for the rest of the game. So, second half, I said, Michel Lamaro, captain for Italy, went over to make it 14 points to 17. So, at this point, they're still losing. Then, Monti Ioni eventually goes through the middle after Italy were on the try line for ages in the 52nd minute, scoring another try, the third try of the day. Then, Lorenzo Canoni goes over in the 55th minute, right after that, to get their bonus point try, making it 28 points to 17. Then again, Juan Ignacio Brex goes over the 62nd minute for another try to Italy, making 35 points to 17. Penalty was then converted by Tommaso Allen in the 69th minute, and after which we did not see any more tries scored. Kieran Crowley's Italy will move to the top of Pool A with that victory, with a bonus point victory, which puts them at the top of the table with 10 points in total. And Italy have faced Uruguay, of course, at the Stade de Nice. And the next game will be against the All Blacks. So, can Italy do anything against them? They showed that they've managed to get bonus points against the smaller sides, which is to be expected from them. That's what they're hoping for. There's a small chance that Italy can actually progress through this pool. It all relies on them doing well against New Zealand and also doing well against France. It's very, very difficult. Let me explain it to you very, very quickly. How can Italy go through as a result of this game? They've won the 2 games they needed to with bonus points and got quite a good scoreline behind their name. Fantastic. Next job is they have to get a bonus point loss against New Zealand at a minimum without letting New Zealand get that bonus point win over them either. Only letting New Zealand get 4 points against them. Then, hoping that France are already through and will rest some of their players, they need to somehow scrape a victory against France. If they can scrape a victory against France, 4 points, that will put them level with New Zealand, and then comes down to goal difference. So hence, very, very, very difficult for them to get through, but they can. If they do even better against New Zealand, somehow get a win, of course, that doesn't matter. Then they are definitely through pretty much. They just need to try and do something in the last game. But again, they should be absolutely through. New Zealand will not go through. But it's very difficult. But there's a small chance, there's a small glimmer of hope. And what did Italy do today? Made sure they did get all the points that they needed today and did the job. Uruguay, unfortunately, could not get another win, or could not get their first win of this World Cup. And, of course, one of their very rare wins they get in World Cups. They were very brave, though. Hats off to them. And again, Ardao, number 6, had a great game. Unfortunately, second half was not for them. They were just not fit enough. The pack that came off the bench and the bench itself didn't add any impacts really for Uruguay, and Italy was just a different level in that second half, and that's what eventually led to them winning that game. So, guys, thank you so much for watching Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. Thank you so much to our sponsors, BitDefender. Be sure to go check them out. Total security, as you see, and, of course, BOYLESPORTS, who will give you a welcome bonus for joining with our link there. Go and check BOYLESPORTS out as well. I've been Mark. You've been watching Forever Rugby. Thank you so much. This has been your review of Italy versus Uruguay. Italy winning that game 38 points to 17. I'll see you soon. Bye.